Let's launch into it. Let's talk about Roadhog Arena. Let's do the point. I don't know why I like doing the point, but I like doing the point. Welcome to Overwatch. Welcome to another episode of Coaching the Many. Today we're going to be talking all about Roadhog, and he's still kind of in meta. Like, I wouldn't count him out just yet. Hog Risa is still very strong. It's still very useful on a lot of maps. It's still very good against Reinhardt's. It still has its place, especially on the ladder. Like, it's very easy to get caught up when people talk about like the meta, and like, oh well, right now the meta is like Sig plus Risa, right? People call it Sig Risa, and like that's the meta, and that's what you got to play. It's not necessarily true, especially like under 4K. Like, it just really, really isn't the case. What the meta is, oftentimes, it's just like the easiest way to play, or it's just like the path of least resistance. Like, if you play Sigma and Orisa, it is very difficult to break without playing Sigma and Orisa and Symmetra and all this other stuff, or playing Doomfist, who just doesn't care, or like all this other stuff, right? It's like Sig Risa just like cuts off so many other options that you kind of have to play Sig Risa into it, or you have to play it a certain way to try and beat it. Not always the case. Last night I had a game on Paris. We had like Bastion, Roadhog, Orisa. The enemy team literally had no main tank and just ran through the choke point and for some reason managed to get through. Like, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So, yeah, don't always be like, oh, well, I have to play this because it's meta. What you do generally want is a team comp that does synergize with itself. So we've got Vaseline on the monitor. I love it. Got some good blurry footage. It's fine. What I would suggest for recording in the future is up the bitrate, lower the frame rate if you're struggling to record. You're on, yeah. Okay. Before we get started, before we get too far, first thing we always should do, as per usual, is take a look at our team comp. So what is our team comp? How's it going to work? Our team comp is actually real nice for attack, I would say. The only thing that gives me slight trepidation is always just the support mix, the lack of like a big Zen ult or Baptiste field even. You will be very vulnerable to anything that's huge, but hey, the enemy team doesn't have anything that's too difficult for you to deal with. Gravitic Flux maybe, but otherwise, yeah, you should be able to handle just about anything. But I'm still kind of the old school. I still have the mentality that you kind of want Transcendent Sound Barrier. At a pinch, you want Immortality Field. But that's just me. Otherwise, yeah, I kind of like this. Hog Risa, always just very, very good synergy, still very strong. And then as a mix, like Widowmaker, pretty strong on this map. Pretty, like, she's kind of out of meta, but I don't mind people leaving spawn with Widow just to like see what's up. Because if the enemy team is playing something that's vulnerable to it, hey, if they are playing something vulnerable to it, you can very easily like win a game. And then the Mei just pairs very nicely with these two as well. So it's actually pretty synergized. We're actually looking pretty good. So when looking at this team comp, I would just think like, hey, yeah, we definitely want to be like thinking about halts. The thing that I try and do is on ladder, because I play in Europe and because, hey, this looks European to me unless it's like Mexican, which I doubt. It is this Ash should not get this much value. It's very important to like try and just get a feel for your Orisa and like how the Orisa plays and how happy she is to throw out halts at random. It's a very, very important idea to try and like figure out just how halty the Orisa is. I want to see what happened. Okay, so Moira ran in front of the barrier and just instantly fucking died. Who knew? Who knew that this could happen? And then the Mei also does the same. Runs in front of the barrier and instantly fucking dies. We're kind of doing the right thing here, which is just plug in the Sigma barrier. Like, we've already seen what the enemy tank line is. It's Sigma plus Roadhog, which is actually pretty good for us because we know that, well, we just have a 1500 hit point barrier to break, and it's also the size of a postage stamp. It's not that big. So we're going to have lots of opportunity to hook. So in this case, I would be a little bit freeballing with my hooks. I would just be looking to find hooks in general. And I wouldn't worry too much about like the Hulk combos. But we definitely want to regroup here. I think we just play line of sight. I don't think you'd want to go aggressive here. The danger of going aggressive here is that your team is going to really struggle to get ground. Like, even if you hook something, the things that you're most likely going to hook are going to be the Sigma or the Roadhog. And with no Mei and with your support down, I think you're just going to have a hard time getting any real value off the back of that. So you want to be a little bit dangerous with Roadhog, pushing in at times when it's inappropriate, because there's a good chance that you can just feed some ult. Nice. And that's the power of Mei. Like, straight up. You are down your main tank, but hey, you can hook Sig. Oh no, you can't hook Sigma's thing, but you can. Oh, very nice. Oh no! Okay. Yeah, after Sigma's done that shit, you can hook him, but great grab on the Mercy. The mistake we made, the reason why we didn't kill the Mercy, when you hook and you pull, hold W. You want to be moving forwards so that when the shot comes out, because there's like a delay, you like hook, you pull, and then there's a moment where you can move, but you can't shoot. And you just want to take that one step forward and hold left mouse button. Get the shot and then melee afterwards. And that would have been enough to kill. The melee alone might have been, but that step forward is also very important to making sure you get enough damage. I think we take like half a step forward. It doesn't feel like we're going forward as much as we need to, though. To get the shot, and especially on like something like a Mercy, you absolutely want to get that kill. Okay, barrier's dead. We should be hunting for hooks aggressively. Again, this is not stepping forward enough. So with female heroes, especially in Overwatch, the female heroes tend to have like a slightly smaller model. Let's just get a better frame. You generally want to aim down a little bit, especially on heroes like Ashe. Ashe, Symmetra, I'd say like Mercy, Ana. You want to pull the crosshair down a touch, because you want to hit them in the core. Like, you don't worry about headshots, don't worry about all this sort of stuff. They just tend to have small models, so you need to like hit into this space here, basically. And that's kind of difficult. So we get the hook, but like, she's low on hit points. You know, we can see that due to the replay. And yet somehow she doesn't die, and that's because we didn't adjust our crosshair a little bit. Worth going into free-for-all, and people will hate you for it, but honestly, it's not a bad idea for practice. Go into free-for-all, hook, shoot. You can even probably do this with bots, to be honest, and just get used to like finding these one-shots. I love the denial of the health pack. Great shot on the McCree. Like, we got it eventually. I mean, it's worth me mentioning, like, in moments like this, it's just very important. Like, especially now, after you've just done your reload, you've got 5 shots, really take your time, and that's the result that happens when you actually land these shots, and that's why it's kind of worth taking that little bit of extra time to make sure you aim them, because Roadhog can just, like, one-shot people, or at least do, like, 150 plus damage. I'm still kind of okay with that ult. The only thing with that ult is, yeah, just, when dealing with Sigma, you gotta kind of respect the accretion, stay behind the barrier, at least until he gets rid of it, and then Sigma's a kind of a problem for our ulti. It's going to be difficult for people to like have programming on like, oh, what do I do against Sigma? Think about Sigma against Roadhog. He has accretion to stop your ulti and to stop your heal. He's got a barrier to block your damage, and he's got his kinetic grasp. He's got the suck to absorb all the hurt. So very difficult to do much to Sigma with Whole Hog. So you always just want to be a little bit wary of him. Where did I put my drink? Did I leave my drink somewhere? Very nice. I need to get my drink, because I'm going to be talking a lot, and I need to lubricate my throat. There we go. Whoa. Oh, that's better. That's better. Recording's more blurry than I expected. Sorry for that. I mentioned this at the start if you weren't here. Like, the only thing that I'd say is up the bitrate, and if your computer struggles recording with that, up the bitrate, lower the frame rate. Like 30 frames is more than fine for coaching. But you can really see the power of that Mei hog. It's very, very nice. Anything to mention here? Not really. It's just good setup with the Mei. Like, this is why we should be paying attention to Mei as well. Slow targets are easy hooks. I'd say as Roadhog, don't be afraid to, like, you should be one of the people roaming forward, definitely. Just because you have so much kill power. Like, the people who should be staying behind on this one are, like, the Ana, the Orisa. But you can afford to just, like, poke forward a touch. So don't be super afraid to do that. Like, you are kind of safe, like, there's a number of stuns on the enemy team, but as long as you're not super crazy, you should be okay. That hook is actually a very good idea. So the Mei's kind of failing your team here. Like, this is more the Mei's problem. This is part of why Hog Mei is so powerful and why Winston is actually so weak at the moment. Is the hook is actually a very good idea. It stuns him, stops him doing damage. The ideal thing to happen here is that the Mei then starts freezing him, and the freeze just completely ruins him. So I don't know what Mei's up to at the moment. You can kind of see a bit of spam, but I think she just runs off. Hook him. Nice. You just saved your honor. Good job. Still a little bit tough. Okay, yeah, just back out. Don't hook Bob, whatever you do. So with Winston's, yeah, always anticipate the bubble. Like, the bubble will be a thing. Yeah. Oh, he doesn't have a bubble! He doesn't have a bubble! So you might not be able to kill him, but you will put the fear of God into him, and you will also get a shitload of ult charge. Excellent. And again, we need that step forward. I'm gonna like mention it every single. Oh shit! Nice. Honestly, worth. Yeah, we just need to kill this habit of like hook, and then we stop moving. Just move into the enemy. Let's see. There's one thing I wanted to mention. Do we reload twice here? No, okay, we cut off a reload. Okay, no, that's fine. That's the beauty of a shot. Notice how, like, the Winston pick is so bad against our team comp. I don't know why he's gone for it. Maybe they're afraid of the Widow? Maybe they should just pick Orisa. Orisa Sigma. Again, I'd like us to be the one going forward. Like, Roadhog is so good. When people get impatient, so you got people like, you know, this Moira, who are like running way too far forward. Like, Roadhog is so good for punishing that. So if you think about like the terrain up here, there's like the doorway, and then there's the corridor this way, and then there's like another doorway like here. Like, she's running way forward in front of our team. If you can just like get a hook on her, get a ton of damage, then you might kill her. You might just force fade, which honestly is pretty good. It's just a very good way of like punishing people who are getting greedy with their positioning. And it's pretty much no danger to you as well. Okay, be ready. I don't even know where that Sigma ult went. A little bit of patience would have been nice. Oh, no. Oh, oh. There we go. Oh, we're nanoed. Nice. Get that reload. So we're cancelling our reload like every single time. I imagine that's felt very frustrating. Yeah, these hooks are impatient. Okay. So here's the thing with Roadhog. Like, I think the big thing we need is a bit of a mentality shift. Roadhog is not a hero that you play quickly. Roadhog is a hero that you are... It's kind of like any big fat man navigating a narrow space. You've got to be methodical and careful with how you move and what you do. Like, because everything has like cooldowns attached to it, and everything has... You have 5 shots. You've got to be like very thoughtful in how you sort of use each of them. And even in cases like this, where you see the freeze come through, like, I would just say here, you don't need the hook, right? The Mei's got him, so just walk up and just walk into him and just hold left mouse button and, like, get that damage in there. After the freeze is done, then you hook him, and that will set Mei up for another freeze, and he should die. It's little things like this where it's like, I can assist the Mei in getting the freeze, and that's what my goal should be. And yeah, that happens. This is where like counting shots is going to be very useful and very important. I'm not sure how I feel about doing the barrier damage here. I think if you're going to shoot this barrier, like, to me, you either make a choice. You either just delete the barrier or you delete the Winston instead. And I think in this case you try and delete the Winston. What I would say here is after this kill comes through, like, this is where being methodical and slow really helps out. I would personally probably drop behind the payload and reload. And then I would just go after this McCree. Because here's the thing. Sigma McCree can't really kill you super well, I think. Like, as long as you hit your next flash, or you hit your next hook, they can't really touch you. So yeah, reload, there's a stun. Let's wait that out. And again, like, he's just buying time against you. The power of Roadhog is that you can win, and like, this is why he's so popular in deathmatch, is because you can kind of win any 1v1 you take, as long as you play it right. Like, Reaper is kind of the exception, Torbjorn's a little bit difficult, but for most characters, they just cannot beat you and cannot deal with you. And even if they can, you might just be able to, like, dodge enough where you'll be fine. So yeah, here's where you just back up. And like, notice how far forward we were and how long we were there, but notice that we're still alive. There's that accretion. Yeah, we have to respect Sigma. Like, this is the lesson here, is like, respect Sigma's ability to stun you. Sigma has good tools for dealing with whole hogs, so we need to respect that quite a lot. The other thing I would say here is, like, we should be looking for a hook, not an ult. Like, I would say this Moira, especially after you land this right click. So Moira, you can't quite hook and kill easily. Like, she needs to have taken some damage. But this right click is actually a beauty. And I'd say after this point, yeah, you could probably kill this Moira. And getting the hook on her is going to be fine, especially because the Sigma's over here. He's not going to be able to block you. Like, anywhere he puts his barrier is probably going to be this way. So you have this very easy, like, pathway in. And this is the sort of thing we should be looking for as Roadhog, is that we're very good at just, like, bullying on flanks and bullying people who aren't behind protection, like this person. Like, if she was in this corner, like, behind a Sigma barrier, sure, we wouldn't be able to touch her. But the moment people start moving away from these tanks, we have, like, really good opportunities to start causing problems. And, like, this is where you can definitely climb a lot as Roadhog, because people in lower ranks will consistently make mistakes, and even in higher ranks, people will just make, like, these very greedy movements, step out, and just die. And, like, it's very, very easy to collect a lot of kills at that point. Few comps changed a little bit. Ooh, we got a Reinhardt instead. Okay, sure. Don't think it's terrible, don't think it's great. Yeah. Notice, and like, this to me is like one of the most important lessons with Roadhog. 3 shots, right? You annihilate Winston bubbles. And sure, there's like a little bit of damage coming off the Moira as well, but his barrier just has nothing on you. Again, we're hooking. You've got to hook and you've got to adjust. Like, that's the big thing. There's a moment where you can just adjust your aim slightly, and we're not doing that. We're just sort of letting the hook land. That was good, though. I very much approve of messing with people while they're in, like, primal. That was honestly, like, pretty good. So here's the thing with hook: if you like turn after hooking, you will pull people in front of you, and hey, look, you nail the shot and get the kill. Okay, yeah. Ooh, hey, someone slept. Very chaotic fight. That's it. Just take your time. Like, you will kill her if you land a hook on her, and that's all you need to do. Like, she's not going to kill you, let's put it that way. It'll take her 3 weeks to, like, suck you down, and then you just take a breather. It might be literally impossible for her to kill you, especially when you're by the payload. I'm sure someone out there knows the answer to that question. I don't care. It will take her so long that it's effectively meaningless. Okay, they switched up, so we've got a new tank on the field. Diva Sigma. Again, still lots of opportunities to get a lot of damage done. Yep, just plug his barrier when you can. Keep an eye on the flanks. Look for anyone roaming too far, like their Moira, who apparently has a death wish. Like, these are the opportunities we're looking for, especially with Sigma on the field. Sigma's barrier it's kind of hard to make out, but it's kind of just like here, and that's literally all it covers. So if anyone like peeks out too far, you can 100% just mess with them. And because you are running the Mei Hog, like, if the Mei's paying attention, all you need to do is hook them, and she can then freeze them. Good messing with the Diva. Shots in. Don't like this. We need to reload after this. Like, reloading is the priority here. We're not in any real danger. Look if you can hook the Sigma while he's floating you. Can't because it's on cooldown. Okay. Yep. Good hook. Like, at that point, shooting, you just need to control them, set it up for someone else to get a kill. Easy. Like, to me, the important thing to remember about Hook, and like one of the biggest strengths of Hook, is its ability to serve as a crowd control. This is where taking our time with our aim would help a lot. Like, the Mei's freezing him. You know that he's going to be slowed. Just take a half second. Line up the right click. Aim center mass. Don't try and aim for his head. And it'll be easy as pie. That's a problem. Your Reinhardt needs help. Yeah. Good whole hog. Yeah, just get rid of him. Get him out. Very nicely done. Good control. And your team should just win from here. Being fair, the Symmetra turrets are not your problem. The only thing you can do to help with Sim turrets is honestly, like, tank them. So, like, if you run through and then you just take a breather, it will deny a lot of the damage, but yeah, someone else needs to deal with that. Because you only have 5 shots, so if you spend 3 of those shots on Sim turrets, it's just not worth it. That said, if you have whole hog, don't be afraid to just turn around and like clear them out quickly. Not too bad. Like, the big thing is just getting our hook combos. So hook, walk forward, shoot, melee. And it's literally like once the hook lands, just hold W. It's that simple. Getting a feel for distance is important. So once you see this coming in, you want to just take a small step back so your right click is perfectly placed. But yeah, just right click whatever's coming out, gets the turrets. If someone wants to teleport through, you're just going to hook them. Reinhardt just melted. What the hell happened to him? So this is where thinking about the enemy team is going to be very important because, hey, we can see what they have now. So with our team, again, like the combos are pretty much the same. Nothing much changes. But the enemy team, they have a Symmetra. Symmetra is a high priority for you to hook. Because when you're playing Symmetra, there is very much an instinct to like run into the enemy team. And oftentimes, if you just like take your time a little bit, if you're just a little bit careful, you will be able to hook her 9 times out of 10. The other big thing here is that the enemy team has an Orisa. This changes a lot in terms of what we can do with our barrier damage. Yeah, I would 100% be like looking to fish that Symmetra out. Like, she's being extremely greedy by not playing behind the barrier. So just look for the opportunity and just control this flank. Like, this is your job, basically. So when people ask about like off tank and main tank, like what is the actual difference? This is actually a great illustration of this concept. Most of the enemy team is like pushing through main, right? You mostly got like the McCree, you got the Orisa, you got the Winston, you got the Ana, all pushing through main. And then on this flank, you've sort of got Symmetra, and then the Mercy occasionally helps her. And she's just causing problems, like poking in and trying to like get behind the Reinhardt and do some damage here and there and be annoying. And if she runs in, then she's going to cause you tons of problems. The Reinhardt's job is to worry about this threat in front, right? He wants to block the damage from the McCree, the damage from the Orisa, deny grenades, all this kind of stuff. He's very good at doing that. What we need to deal with then is the threat on the sideline. This is where the off-tank shines. This is what the off-tank's job kind of is. And especially because they have that Orisa, they've got enough barriers to where it's like you plugging away at barriers. Like if you try and enter into a barrier wall when you're playing Orisa, when you're playing Reinhardt into Orisa, this is not what we want to be doing. If you try and enter in a barrier wall, when you have Reinhardt, they have Orisa, you're going to lose every time. So yeah, we don't want to play the barrier wall, we want to look for other targets. Why do I say this is a waste of time? The Winston is not the threat here. This is the threat. This is 100% the threat. Symmetra is your priority, right? She's going to want to sprint into your team with a massive beam and just kill everyone, technical terms. So yeah, you want to deny her ability to do that. If she wants to run into your team without the protection of a tank, you need to punish her every single time she tries to do that. And it'll be a very easy kill. Like, she can't take being hooked and shot. Try and help your Mercy a little bit. The job here is like 90% to survive. Good shot. Oh, another good shot. Okay. Yeah, just stand on the body. Stand on the body. Like, you cannot fight them at this point. You can deny the res. Don't fight them. They got the res. Okay. So this is about reading the fight and reading what's happening and then adjusting our playstyle. So, we've basically lost this fight, right? They're pushing the payload. We lost our main tank. I think our Moira is somewhere. I think she's around. I think she's alive. It might be their Moira that I saw. But yeah, we are in trouble, right? We have two choices. We can either get out and just wait, or we can maybe fish for a kill. Fishing for a kill here I think is fine, because the Mercy's put Valkyrie, so you want to get some value off it, and you're kind of safe-ish. Looks like it's our Moira. Yeah, it is our Moira. And so once this McCree, especially once he's blown his flashbang, like, hey, we can get some value off that. And you, like, notice that when we took a split second to aim there, we didn't just hold left mouse button, right? Like, holding left mouse button, stop, aim, boom, dead. Just take that time. Then that's a brilliant shot. The thing here is that we cannot win 2 versus 5. But this Mercy, because she's activated Valkyrie, that to me is like a surefire signal that, hey, she wants to res this guy. If you just stand on top of his body, you're actually in a pretty good place. Because you've got this kiosk over here. There's actually a pretty good line of sight blocker that you can play around with. You've got the Mercy still helping you out, who's called Winston, confusingly. There's a Moira floating around somewhere who's just died, feels bad, man. But other people should be coming out of spawn relatively soon. You can just camp on top of this body and almost like challenge the Mercy and just say, go on, try it. Try it. Because if she does, then you can just either whole hog her and blow her off the body and just probably kill her as well. Or you can just, like, what I would try and do is probably shoot her and then try and whole hog. But, like, walking forwards here, it's very easy for me to, like, take my hands off the keyboard now and during the replay and during the VOD just go, like, doesn't this look silly? You guys can't even see half the story because there's more people behind my camera, right? It's a little bit hard to see here because I'm in the way, which is lovely. But there's a person. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can see that there's the Risa here. There's like damage amp. There's turrets. There's people everywhere. You aren't going to kill all of these people. You can't even kill the turret. So the big power play here, yeah, deny the res. Challenge that. Make sure Mercy can't get that value, and that's where you'll actually find value here. Because then they'll be down 1, and if Mercy tries to res, they might be down 2 by the time your team comes back. As it is, we kind of just ran forward, died, and then Mercy died, and then, well, Reinhardt died, and it's just all bad. Thought I needed to be doing something, forgot about the Mercy. Yeah, it's a mentality shift of, like, my priority here should be to survive and try and find little bits of value here and there. But otherwise, like, you can't do anything. And it's a hard thing to do, because you're in combat, and especially if you're playing a hero that you're not familiar with, it's like, how do, you know, it's taking that moment to, like, take that step back and just go, man, I need to do something different. Smash that barrier, good. Anytime Winston tries to do something with his barrier, smash it. Just denies him time. Okay. This is a problem. You can break it with whole hog, but yeah, it's just not worth trying. Like, just give them a little bit of space. Don't stand on this side of this barrier though. Like, you wanna be like ready. Because they might just go, oh, I'm going to just charge around this corner. Especially at low ranks, people will do this. They'll, like, run around, and you will just be able to pick them up with a hook. Like, you want to be ready for that opportunity. This barrel is good cover. I'll just stand here, and then if they come around with a tank, you can just back up this way, and you'll be fine. Just wait it out, and then you guys can push out with your ults. But yeah, you've basically just got to concede the space a little bit here. Like that McCree could have been ours. Could have been an easy kill. Close. The thing I'd say we missed here is that this Winston just committed suicide. But yeah, your team just gave up way too much ground. Like, notice, I want to like point out, you know, it's kind of difficult in this fight because we've kind of lost this fight. Like the Mei going down especially really ruined us. But just look at how many people are outside of the barrier. Like literally only the Orisa is behind the barrier. Mercy, Ana, McCree, Winston's out like by us. Their entire team is hookable, right? And this is the sort of thing that we need to be thinking about a lot. Is looking for these moments where people aren't... Like, none of them should be able to get away with this, right? They should be behind the barrier hiding from us, and we are the reason why they have to do that and respect that. But let's see. Oh, no! Oh no, that went completely wrong. So, okay, when this res came through, I was like, okay, you've got kind of two choices. You either whole hog instantly and pray that McCree doesn't have flashbang to stop you, and you like try and blow this guy out, and you try and just say, go away, Winston, we don't want to deal with you. Or you like wait a while, you maybe throw out a hook, try and get a kill, and then see if McCree flashbangs, use the heal, and try and block him from walking down the corridor with your body. We end up doing like option one, but then it just goes completely wrong as he just dives into here, and we just like push him into our back line. Say, hey Winston, hey, yeah, you want to get to the back line? Sure, yep, enjoy, have fun, and then we get stunned anyway and die, yeah. The team kind of messed up by just backing up so far. Like, they gave way too much ground. Like, Simot came through and everyone just, like, ran into a corner. Not even a good corner. Just a bad corner.
Touch from afar.
Doesn't seem that low SR. The trick is here. I know what SR it is. You guys don't. I'm going to make you guess, but I know what it is. Let's see. Oh, oh. Yeah, this. Well, he fat. Okay, let's talk about when this happens. Yeah, he fat fingered. When this happens, it is very important not to shout at the person that did it. Because they know they fucked. Unless like they're intentionally like, oh my god, guys, you're all so shit. Buh, I'm gonna press Q. They know they fucked up. It happens to everyone. It's happened to me. It's happened to you, I'm sure. Just don't get like, oh my god, Reinhardt, for fuck's sake, what are you? He knows he fucked up. It's just a good way to like throw the game completely. So what we're doing here is I don't think we press Q. If we press Q, we can see that, oh, well, their team has Symmetra, they have McCree, they have Orisa. They don't really have, like, Widowmaker and Hanzo. So, while Rialto third point is, like, a massive pain in the ass, it's often a pain in the ass because, well, you're, like, walking into Hanzo, you're walking into Widowmaker, you're getting shot from 3 miles away. That's a big problem. When they don't have these long-range options, you can, like, poke up the bridge a bit. And you mean tab, not Q. Yes, I mean tab, not Q. Like, press tab, take a look, see what they're running. If they don't have anything long range, walk forward. I was laughing. I thought, yeah, I find it funny when people do that as well. Because it's just like, well, that Winston just fucked up. Lul. Good job, Reinhardt. What do I mean by this Winston fucked up? This is a very easy thing to spot. He's dropped his barrier, and then he's jumped. Well, what? He's got no safeties. He's literally just ulted as well. Like, we just saw him Primal Rage a little bit ago. So, he's just decided to feed. So, I'd definitely be looking for him, yeah. And we do that instantaneously. The Mei then, like, cucks us. Literally raises the McCree up, and he just walks on the opposite side. Doesn't body block for us. We die. That feels bad. I think we just gave them way too much ground here. Like, I don't think we needed to give them this much ground. And this is why, like, having a good idea of what the enemy team's running, what the enemy team's working with, and where it's strong is always going to be useful. It's like a game knowledge thing, and that just builds up with time. It's also where watching streamers can help, because you can kind of see where they're playing and how they're getting away with stuff. But we're erring on the side of caution, which, you know, I'm okay with. Now it's changed. Now they've got a Roadhog. Okay, now we can't futz around. Like, they've got Hog Risa. We cannot just mess around out in the open. So watch out for those sim orbs. Like, they are more dangerous than you would think. They chunk. They really do chunk. Okay, look for opportunities. Like, there's... If I'm seeing that barrier correctly, like, there's a big opportunity to get something done here. It's a bit difficult with the Reinhardt in the way. No, I'm not seeing it correctly. Okay. Barrier is facing us. I thought it was, like, split here, but it's not. Shoot. Drink. Yep. See how fine you are? Like, they need to... Like, this is why your comp is actually really good compared to theirs. Because if you did that, if you got their Roadhog, the Mei can actually stop him. That's, like, the power of Mei Hog. So again, this is a good opportunity for us to, you see, like, everyone pushing forward here, there's a buffet for us this way. And, like, this is how we should be thinking a little bit with the Roadhog especially. Like, we don't actually want to go down their throat like this when there's plenty of opportunities from the side. Like, there was a huge golden opportunity that we kind of missed. As everyone went this way and their team sort of pushed into this, we could have very easily just nipped through here. And then we have access to their Ana, we have access to their Mercy, to their McCree, all these targets that we can hook. And you can see them over here. Like, this to me is like, oh, juicy. Juicy, juicy, juicy. You want this. I'm going to feed off this. Almost. That's better, though. That's what we're looking to do. Look at that McCree. Like, I wish I had an eye tracker here, because I could very easily, like, show you guys, like, what I'm looking at. Like, if I was playing this, I would be 100% looking at this guy, looking at this. Like, all these people outside of the barrier, they can't be there because we're playing Roadhog. And so, yeah, like, I'm fine with this, like, doing some shells into the barrier. I'd probably just do 1 or 2. Like, just 1, 2, and then I'd definitely stop firing now. Just to make sure I have some ammo, because there's 3 kills here. And, like, these are what we should be looking at. And I would probably, especially with, like, the sim playing around here, I'll probably start bullying around this way. Like, Roadhog is a bully. That's how he works. And, like, how... Roadhog is a tank because he claims space. And to me, like, that is the central tenet of tanking, is controlling and taking over space. And you can kind of do that. Oh, great hook. Superb hook. 100% fantastic hook. That was a really nice play by them, though. Holy shit, their team's gone mad. Get that hook. Yeah. The hook should be our priority. Again, this Symmetra, like, the hook is 100% our way of dealing with her. You need to hook her, though. This is really nice by them. Holy shit, that's cool. Especially with the sim ult. I love that with the sim ult. They teleport behind you and then she, like, cuts you off as well with this massive barrier. That's really cool by them. That's actually, like, legitimately a good play out of them. Yeah, good, nice try, McCree. Yep, Deadeye into the sim ult. Spoiler alert, they have a barrier. It's pretty good. Yeah, we want to be careful about our positioning here. Just line of sight is key. Well, oh! Don't ult. Good. Okay. Good job, Ryan. Holy shit. What a legend. Let's see. Anything that we could have done better here? I don't think so. I think the only thing we could have done better here is, like, right-click. Like, you could right-click this Roadhog right in the dick. The turrets kind of throw us off a little bit as well. And just, like, timing out our left clicks. The other thing I would say is, like, you generally have about enough time for 2 shots. So you walk forward, shoot, and when she gets up like this, like, she's still in the stun animation, hook to extend the stun, and that will deny her the fortify. Give you another shot before she does fortify, and then she will fortify, and you'll probably just be able to kill her really easily. You get her anyway, but that would just be like the more efficient thing. Well, it's more important for stuff like Roadhogs, like stopping their whole... not so much their whole hog, but anything with an escape. You just want to like extend that stun lock a little bit. Well, you have a Bastion. Yeah, this is where you are very strong here, by the way. The teleporting somewhere, so be ready. Good. I would have hooked myself. I would have just gone for it, especially like you probably would have got the sim. It's just what like by the time you need it again, it will be off cooldown. So I would just fish for a hook here. You want to kind of catch them in the scramble as they come out the TP. If they're good, they'll like the Orisa will very much plan for it. Perfect. That's what we want to do to this sim. Like you want to deny that sim. Let's get underneath. You know he doesn't have. Okay, this might be a time to. Ooh, very nice by the way. I would have probably whole hogged. We do a good job, by the way, in getting. Well, we do an okay job. I'd say we need to do this a bit faster. Like we're taking a lot of damage, but yeah, just get in by this wall as fast as you can, so that the Orisa can't shoot you to death. Once he's used that, I would have probably whole hogged. Like tried to back up behind the Reinhardt and just whole hogged, and tried to like push him into this corner because he's used his take a breather. Like you will be able to kill him. And especially once this comes out, I would probably just whole hog straight away, just to like try and blow him out. But the Mei does a good job. Like that's para Mei. By Orisa. And yeah, good adaptation. I like it. Yeah, get up here. And if they try and TP through it, I want to see a Q. Just press Q the moment the TP comes up. No. Stay here. Q. Q. Yes! Yes, you god! Yes! You absolute legend. You absolute freaking legend. Perfect. Oh, that's so good. That is so very good. Yeah, I like, especially once they've done this twice, it's like, yeah, okay. Like, you just stand up there, and then I'm so glad you saw this setup. And I'll tell you what I am really glad about as well. You didn't show yourself. You just waited, and you didn't show. Right? You just hid. Because I would have been tempted to, like, just poke my nose out up here and, like, start shooting. But no, 100% the right call is just to stay stealth. Just like stay hidden up here. Don't poke out. Wait for the telly and just nail them. Oh, that is brilliant. So yeah, the big notes. Oh god, that's so funny. That is so funny. I guarantee that was play of the game. Yeah, if they did it twice, they're gonna do it again, like 100%. And here's the thing, if they don't do it again, you are still in a good, like, it's still very easy for you to drop back down. If they just start pushing the bridge, well, you just hop down and you're back with your team. It's not like you're miles away. So it's a really nice position. Yeah, big things for you to focus on, I would say, is, so, yeah, our hook combos need work. So, again, very straightforward. Throw hook lands, hold W, and basically hold W and left click, and then press V afterwards, or press your melee button. So you want to be walking into them. Because what will often happen as well when you hook someone, especially if they are, like if they've used their cooldowns, is they'll start backpedaling. And they'll start backpedaling away, and you just hold left mouse button and just douche, and you will kill them every single time. Like, notice this Winston, right? Just watch this Winston. This is a great example of it, actually. Hook. We stop, it's like our movement is not smooth, but he just backpedals out. And it's like we move forward, shoot, and then move forward. We need to just be smoothly moving into his face, because if you're just macking the gun into someone's face, they're gonna die. Yeah, like start putting the guesses for the SR in as well. Other than that, looking for those opportunities, right? Especially when they're playing with stuff like Sigma, Orisa, like Sigma just has a small barrier, so it's easy to get past. Orisa has an immobile barrier, looking for people who are like poking around the sides. Just look for those hooks. Deal with the flanks, deal with the vulnerable people, all that kind of stuff. And so Rip's gone like 3.4, which is kind of nutty. 2.2, 2.1. Oh no, Poppy's 2.1. So we've got 2.1, 2.8. I just came, so 1.5. Very. Don't even think we should count it, but hey, I'll put it in anyway. Anything else? Anyone else? Barely watched any? 2.4, 3.2, 1.8. Very, very like wide ranging, very all over the place. Yeah. Apparently the rank is 2.3. So yeah, 2.3k. I think the Overwatch servers are down. I think Blizzard are having a bad day. Apparently, someone's DDoSing them. Yeah, 2.3k. About right. I think the only thing that like really jumps out at me as to like this isn't 2.3k is when they did this like this big play over here. Like this is nuts for 2.3k. But even then, there's some 2.3k things about it where they have 5 ults. How many of these do they spend? So they get this good teleport, they get this good position, they lose the Roadhog instantly because he jumps down the wrong way. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it Ana? Go on, Ana. Go on. Go on. Just nano. Just nano now. Okay, they spend 4 ults. It's still kind of nuts. Like, the Mercy did not need to Valk there. McCree probably didn't need to ult as well. They could have probably just done it with just the Sim ult. And then this McCree ult. Jesus, what is he thinking? What is he thinking? Plenty of grouping. You say that, but then there's like so many times when people are just like roaming around in front of barriers. Like, there's a lot of instances where people are just kind of running off and doing their own thing. Like, what is this Winston doing? He's just gone nuts. Yeah. I think, like, with Roadhog is very good for climbing. He's very, very good for climbing. Just because it's very easy to, like, spot mistakes. And what I want you to do as well while you're spotting those mistakes out is look for people who are walking past barriers. Like, we have just a great demonstration of, like, low rank mentalities. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. Like, one of the biggest differences between high rank and low rank is that in low ranks, people will run in front of barriers and run around and assume that people will not land shots on them. Whereas in high rank, people will assume that they land shots. And like this Moira is a great example. She jumps in front of the barrier for no reason and just gets nailed by the Ashe. Headshot and dead. And then Mei just does the same. Like, she runs in front of your barrier and dies. And it's like, there is no reason for her to do that at all. And like, that's very, very low rank mindset. Just like a very low rank mentality. And like, at this point, you just back out. Just leave, because you're 2 down. You are not going to win this fight. So yeah, we just back out. Good. Yeah, that's about it for this one though. Barrier on payload has a gap underneath. Can you hook onto that barrier? Yes, you can. 100% yes. Hook combos being off in the air, not being super smooth, threw me off. I mean, to his credit, I'm a main healer. I've always played healer, so I'm a little bit uncomfortable on the front line. I think my aim is decent. Needs work. Everyone's aim needs work. My aim needs work. Shawfall's aim needs work. Pine's aim needs work, right? So it's not a useful thing to say. I'd say, again, and the biggest mentality change as well is like, especially on Roadhog, you want to be pressuring flanks. Like, you want to be... leave the main tank to deal with the big primary threat, we want to be dealing with the other threats. And that's kind of where I'll wrap this